Good morning. Hi, this is Travis from the National Weather Service, and this is your weather hazard briefing for Friday, October 7th. High pressure will continue to stay in control with warm and dry conditions, but we will get a little bit of cloud cover, particularly late today into tomorrow. That will bring the temperatures down a little bit, but they will stay above normal for this time of year. We're a little looking for the lows of 20s and 30s in the mountains and highs of 50s and 60s in the mountains. And as you go to lower elevations, 30s and 40s, and as lows and highs of 60s and 70s. We are still looking for patchy fog this morning, probably, and also tomorrow morning for Island Park and Bear Lake areas. And we're also looking for patchy frost, or temperatures 33 to 36 from Eastern Magic Valley and Snake Plain. Those are the areas that we have we would normally put out our frost advisories. Obviously, in the mountains, they would potentially see frost a much longer period of the year. Again, I mentioned we'll continue to see those high temperatures across the area, but again, a slight cooling trend as the upper clouds ahead of the next system. And as we go into early next week, we do have a system, although models have really backed off on this, and it doesn't look near impactful as it was yesterday. Still looks a little bit of a cool down. It'll potentially breezy on Tuesday as it goes through, but again, it doesn't look as much at this point. It looks a fairly weaker system as the low goes around us at this point. Here is the current satellite imagery looking clear across the area under high pressure. And you can see those clouds that I was mentioning to our north, and those will move over us later today into tomorrow. Did mention the patchy frost already for the Snake Plain and Eastern Magic Valley. Potentially tomorrow as well, but with those clouds, not as much. Won't be quite as cool tomorrow morning. And then patchy fog in the upper Island Park area as well as near Bear Lake. There are quite a few areas that have not, in this graphic here, have seen a freeze yet this year, so something to watch. And then, of course, a lot of the mountain areas have seen a freeze across our area, but not so much on the valleys. So we'll be watching that closely in the next week. Here's our temperatures for today, this morning. You can see those areas most likely for patchy frost are near Pocatello, out by the airport and northward, not so much in the city. And then you also see down here by I-84 interstate and also up in the Arco Desert and in the upper Snake Plain. Temperatures remain above normal, a good 6 to 12 degrees above normal, slightly cooler than yesterday. Pocatello hit 77 yesterday. And again, as we go into Monday, the temperatures mostly stay the same as you go Saturday and Sunday. And Monday, they cool down just a degree or two more, but still above normal. And then you see those temperatures as far as the morning are slightly warmer than what we saw for today's on Friday morning. And as we go into Tuesday, then you can see that we are starting to look at getting some freezing, potentially Ketchum. And that would potentially be the latest freeze if that actually occurs for Ketchum. And there's a couple other areas that would occur as well. And then you can see our temperatures do drop 3 to 5 degrees as we go into Tuesday, and they do drop a little bit more as we go into Wednesday as far as your highs as well as your lows. We're looking at some of our climate spots potentially getting the first freeze there on Wednesday morning. As far as our precip, yesterday we showed this and we had a fairly decent chance for a quarter of an inch, particularly across our eastern highlands. That is not the case today, is that the track has changed on that upper level low that was coming across our area. It's not over us currently at this point. So very light precip chances with this next system on Tuesday, Wednesday. 5 to 10% chance of getting a quarter of an inch, and that's mainly up in the eastern highland area. We are continuing to be under high pressure. We'll be above normal temperatures, again 6 to 12 degrees above normal. We'll continue to see some patchy fog, particularly across the Island Park and Bear Lake areas, and patchy frost across the Snake Plain and Eastern Magic Valley. Very isolated, but there will be some pockets there. Continued The temperatures will cool down just slightly as we go into next week. That system has weakened quite a bit than what we were seeing previous. Not very good precedent chances of this chance. I may not even see that much of a breezy winds. Again, that system looks to move away from us at this point, but it will bring a little bit of a slight cool down and potentially areas seeing their first freeze that haven't seen it yet for this year. That concludes the brief. If you have any questions, give us a call at this number. Thanks.